Well, hello guys, welcome back. I came up with a card to do with the Tim Holtz tree ring, this die that we used last time, remember? So I have come up with a card, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it together, explain it a little bit. I like to pre-make the card first, that way I know what I'm doing. So here's what it's going to look like that. Like it? I thought it was kind of cute. So it's part of a challenge that I'm doing because there's a few parts here that I was given to come up with a card. So I incorporated a few different things, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to explain a little bit step by step as we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the background paper. It came out from this pad. I got it at my local store, but I'm sure you can find it different ones. It's a fall themed one, and the sheet that I was given out of it is, it's a beautiful pack, by the way. Just so much good stuff in here. There's wooden ones. I really like this one. I'm sure I'm going to be doing a lot out of it. But it's actually the backs of these brown ones. It's this one right here. So that's what I'm using for the background here. So one more time, it's that right there. Then I'm going to be using, I was given this cloth thing to use also. So I die cut a few things out of here. You can kind of see at the bottom. I'll show you which ones came out of this canvas material. And then I'm using this Tim Holtz set. I fell in love with the little mushrooms in the set actually, but I've really learned to really like this fern right here too. So we'll see. I haven't tried a lot of the other stuff yet on here, but I'm really enjoying this other Tim Holtz set. So what I've used in this one is the leaf out of that set, this fern that I showed you, and both mushrooms. Mushrooms come all together, both parts, like let me show you on this one. So this is the main back of the mushroom. This will be the little red tops I made. This is the little skirt that comes in it, and I couldn't figure out first what these were for, but it is for these sides right here. That way the mushroom at the bottom doesn't look cut off. So that's what these little things are here for. See the little triangles? Because without it, it kind of looks weird, to tell you the truth. So I mean, it still looked okay, but it just had that white and I couldn't figure out what to do with it, so that actually solved the problem. But at first I couldn't figure out why they were there, but that's what it is. So, one more time. The back of the mushroom is the main one. This whole thing, see, goes in there. Then the little corners I showed you. And then here's the little skirt. See the little skirt? It's right there. It's this thing right here. Just goes right on top because the mushroom already comes with two ends. You just match it up pretty easy. And then this is the red top with the dots in there. So I used the back because the red mushroom, this poisonous, really beautiful mushroom, actually has white dots on it. So that's why I used the background as white and then made it the red top like it's supposed to be. And then I just inked the bottoms. This one I made on my own. I just took this mushroom again, cut out the background in white, just like I did on this one, and then I cut off just the top of it to make the brown top. Inked it up. Actually I drew a little bit with the gray marker in there to gonna give it a highlight. I might go back and do a little bit of white, either pen or I don't know, I'll see. And then just ink it up just like the other one. So okay, so and then so this is the piece we already did in the last video. I told you I'm going to be making cards with it now, so that's already done. I did go over the edge with the cocoa color though, I was going to tell you, because it ended up being a lot lighter than I wanted it to be when I dried. So see how much darker this is? And just the cocoa color, either Memento inks have cocoa, or I have a different one that's bigger that also did the exactly same thing. But I know I've used Memento Cocoa, it does the same thing, that makes it darker on the edges. So just go over the edge, it makes it more like a real bark. I'll have to go back and fix those, but this is this one. So so I cut out a few leaves like this one in the cloth material because I needed it to be part of my card. So I cut out the bigger leaves. I've done the smaller ones, and if you see my fern, like the fern I did here, because the cloth tends to have strength going in certain direction, it's not that easy. Sometimes like it ripped, one of these fell off because I guess they cut it where it's not holding it anymore. Like see how thin the middle is? So unless that string perfectly matches up, it'll start falling off. So basically it didn't die cut too well up here anyway, so I just made a few small cuts up here. If you notice, they're a lot smaller than the bottom ones, and that one I'm just gonna cover up so you can't really tell. So, and that's kind of working with fabric, something you gotta think about it. And on this one, one of the leaves came off, so I'm gonna put it in a totally different place. It looks just fine without it anyways. So let's start working on it. The process is simple. Just like always, use your score tape. You could ink up the paper, but I thought there was so much going on already, I didn't want to add any more, so we're just not going to do it on the front. And the woodsy paper really made me think of the tree rings that I just made, so because they're right there. So I decided to put them together and make it all work. I hope you like the card, and don't forget to subscribe and like my videos, so I know you would like to see more. Okay, I'm gonna grab my other tape. I've noticed that I'm gonna, sometimes the score tape doesn't work on certain surfaces, so I use both tapes just to make sure everything works perfectly. I have different ones. This one is a sticky thumb, but it's definitely permanent. Tried pulling it off of a different something that didn't quite go on just the way I wanted it, and it would not come off. So I knew that was a good one, because sometimes I've noticed some of the tapes, even though they say permanent, they don't hold permanently. So, but this one does. That's why I've been using it in the middle to make sure that the sheet does not come off. Even if the edges come unglued a little bit, I can always go back and glue them on, but at least the center holds. Okay, so we're gonna match it all up. The paper is 6 by 6 and this one is 7, so it's gonna be about a ½ an inch on each side. And then I prefer to do it this way, with the edge where I match it up first, and then let the bottom, because if anything, I can always cut it off. I cannot glue it back on. So when I match this side up, it looks beautiful. Then on this one, if by any chance anything's off, I can always go back and trim it from the other side. I can see it. Like this one is just fine. Can't really tell. But sometimes if the paper's cut a little bit different, like if you have a cutter and then it's hanging off, I can just go back on the other side and trim it to make it fit perfect. Just my little tip of what I do. Okay, I'm not gonna do pop dots since this is gonna be kind of like the background. Actually, what I'm gonna do is go back and put them back approximately the way I want them. This way I don't forget to glue something on and it's not off when I put it on. That's another thing that I prefer to do. Okay, so just those give me enough. The rest of it is just fill in, so it'll be just fine. So yeah, that's about where I want it. So let me start gluing this on. I'm gonna use the sticky thumb thing to put it on. Okay. Let's do it this way with a flat side at the bottom. About right there. Little glue. I'm gonna do a sticky on this one also because I want to make sure they hold well on here, and I don't want. Okay, it's gonna go there, and then I can use a little bit of glue to put this under there, and I'm gonna glue on both top and the bottom. This way I make sure it holds well, because sometimes the bottom doesn't quite, if it's unequal somewhere, it doesn't always hold as well. So if I glue it on top and bottom, gives it that extra. Okay, so there we go, there's that. Oh, and I tend to use both glues at the same time too. So let's say if I go over this mushroom like this with one slide, I will go back and on the edges add an extra glue on there. This way I make sure they hold really, really well on there. Because the main one will make it really stick on there, but this glue will hold them in case that one for some reason doesn't. So I try both glues so they're really, really glued on. And this one is going to be the one in the background, so I'm going to glue it on also. Since I already have glue on the back of my mushroom, I'm not going to glue this one on the front. Just going to put that around there, and that glue actually gives me some time to work with it too. Say for example if I want to go a little bit lower to the side or anything of that sort. Okay. And I'm making sure that I don't have the edge sticking off of the side. That way I don't have to worry about fitting into an envelope or anything of that sort. Okay, so I wanted this little one, the single one that I got, that came off. I'm just going to stick it right at the bottom here. Like it fell off. And then let's go in and add the ferns. I'm going to turn one the other way. I'm going to put it in the background, and then one will face the way it's supposed to face. I wish there was an extra way of putting these the way I want them, but I haven't. That's the only way I could figure out to make them work, is just flipping it over. Okay, so there's that one, and then I'm gonna put this one like that. And I don't glue all of them, maybe just 1 or 2 row of leaves. That way I give it a little bit of movement. It makes it a little more 3D. If I'm worried about them ripping off or anything like that, then I can go back and fix it and do more. These cloth ones glue really well. They hold really well. I guess they absorb the glue. And so when it glues on, they really glue well. I like that. Okay, then we also have this one. Gonna stick it right there, or maybe down here. No, too much. Gonna put it up here. Changed it up a little bit, but because it glued on a little bit different than I had it the first time, so that happens all the time. Change the little bit of planning you're doing. Right there, let's get that up a little bit. Okay. Hide that under there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I can add any kind of words or anything I want at the top. Like I can add something of this sort. And have words on there, maybe put it in the background on there. Or you can do a white one, or you can do something less extravagant. Let's see what other ones I have. I have a green one. Maybe a green one would look better. But anyways, and then you can stamp whatever you like on it. You can even do it maybe to the side. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day. And thank you for signing up and liking my videos. Thank you for taking the time to be with me. Bye.